GM.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Governor. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you, sir.
Turn this thing up. Woo. What's going on? What
Chilling like a villain.
is Thursday, May 19th, bringing us today? GM Cambo, GM Chipper, GM Sandman. Cambo, congrats on the put your stuff up on Foundation. Did you see that free market?
I did. Amazing looking stuff.
Our little boys all grown up.
Oh.
Went from shit talking morning show YouTube chatter AlphaMint now. Well, I'm sure he's always been a good artist, but yeah, that's cool shit.
So dope. My
man. Fuck it, let's pull it up.
It's one of my favorite GIFs.
Really? Oh, the Denzel Washington, my man.
Yeah,
Same actually. It's very much same. I also love the I don't know if it's somebody and I'm just not recognizing him, like the Woodsman though, where like it slowly zooms in on his face and he just gives the little nod.
Great.
You're a big fan of the Jack Nicholson one too.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. I haven't used it in a while. You know, you play them out. They get played out. You got to find a different one to do.
They go through their peaks and valleys for sure.
Yeah, like Daddy Chill was just one of my favorite.
But
I used it so much. I feel it's lost its punch, its power. Nothing you can do.
No, you roll with the punches. It's fine.
Luckily, there's always a new GIF out there. People those out.
I mean, yeah, the effective communication of GIFs are just so good. You could just say so much with it.
Yes.
I know that's probably sounds obvious, but whatever. Check this out, guys. Look at this. Yeah, you can still talk shit. That's fine. You're welcome. This is I love this stuff. Look how good this is.
Remember Ethereum?
R.I.P.
Yeah. That shit was gonna get me out of this town.
It will. It just might not be this decade.
Yeah.
Love it. Good stuff, Cambo. Well done. I can't wait to see some more of it. You were actually DMing me some of your stuff. It's really, really good. I'm happy you decided to take that plunge. And on the front page of Foundation, not sure if it's still there, but you were on the front page there for a little bit there. So that's awesome.
Have you seen these dips? We could be so rich. I don't want to go to the moon if you don't want to come with.
I listened to that again this morning, actually.
Of course you did. It's a fucking banger.
Should I? Can I do a duet on top of it too?
No one's stopping you, sir. It's a free country, except the one that actually makes TikTok. But you're in a free country, so you can use TikTok in a free manner. Yeah, that's true. Ish.
I gotta be careful how loud I say that.
Boy, these scientists look so damn good. Mr. Sandman, what a heater you put together there. Boy, people were taking these so seriously, like they didn't want to mint. Like I put a lot of people onto scientists or whatever, and they were just like, I can't decide. Like I love this trait, but I love this trait. That's the only issue. Like everyone loved the process, all that great stuff, but I think that just almost too much choice. There were too many good combinations people could make. So, yeah.
If you have to do the thing where you make your own NFT and you get to choose it, because like, again, we kind of talked about that. And I think we're in agreement. It's not really our thing. The randomization from it, the slot machine of minting is the fun part of it. But if you're gonna do that, you make the experience the way that they did it. Hell yeah, I'm in. And it also helps that, as you said, the traits were all so good. It wasn't like I'm gonna go back to what was that? Friends with You. That was shit.
I really think people are gonna regret if they did not mint their scientists. I really think people are gonna have regret not doing that. The ecosystem is live. Your scientists are earning scale. If you injected ETH into your scientist, I don't know how in depth we talked about it, but
we didn't actually.
Yeah, they did something so remarkably interesting, brilliant. And that was you could decide whether you wanted to participate in the E part of the P2E. So, as you know, with most play to own or on chain games, you buy the assets and then you earn the utility token. But it is implicit that you are paying to play. Whereas this scientist mint, you could still mint the scientists and you could still play the game, but unless you injected ETH into the ecosystem, your scientist doesn't earn scale. And the amount of scales your scientists earn is directly related to how much ETH you could have injected as much ETH. You could have 1,000 ETH in if you wanted to. It was up to you. Maybe there was a max. I didn't see if there was a max or whatever, but you could have essentially put in as much ETH as you wanted to.
Well, if there was, you could have just made as many wallets as you wanted to and just made more, right?
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, I got 4, so I did them in different wallets. And if you did not inject ETH and now you're regretting that, you can retroactively do that from your dashboard. So fear not. If you ever want to activate your scientists and participate in the P2E economy over there, you can do that. But I loved that novel approach. You know, let's think about, like, why do
Where is the dashboard?
Go to, are you in the Discord? If not, I'll just send you the
yeah, okay, sorry. Keep going on your thought there. Yeah. You're talking about the P2E.
Right. And why does a game get popular? Right? What makes it popular? And I'm just trying to, especially from a marketing standpoint, right? And it's like when one of your friends tells you about a game he's having a good time on in this modern era, you find the game and you go play it. You usually don't even have to pay at this point. Correct me if a Rocket League and all these things, there's websites you can go to, right? And you play the game there. There are obviously add-ons and premium things you can buy and do, but the base of the game tends to be free. You can have that fun.
Typically, yeah.
Typically,
not all though. Like if you're talking about like FIFA, NHL, like you still got to buy those games for $80 and stuff like that. Yeah,
gotcha.
They are big money sinks.
Well, what would you think? What are the biggest? I think on-chain gaming too. It leans harder into that community aspect. I think when you buy a game, like for $80 and you put it into an Xbox or a PlayStation, sure, you can go online and play with other people, but often you're just playing by yourself against the computer. I think on-chain gaming lends itself much more to a community type gaming, a lot more PvP, so to say.
Yeah, I will say this. Most games now are either like a single player game or you play them online with other people. Like I don't think many people are playing like FIFA against the computer or anything like that. I think most of it is that social experience. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that there's a community formed around it. Like it's kind of like a pseudo community. There are lots of people online, but you don't really cross paths with the same people very often. You could add them as a friend, but like your community is the one that you've kind of created via your friends list, or you kind of have to seek out community whether it's on Reddit. Reddit's a big one for like having subreddits of games and whatnot. But those communities kind of have to pop up externally, whereas like a P2E, it really is actually kind of centered around the fact that a community exists there. Maybe it is the same thing. You got to do it in Discord, but yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. Like there are tons of FIFA players. I don't know how much of a FIFA community there is.
Gotcha. I do think that here's where I think Kaiju, I guess, has done that's different than anybody else. They've given people an opportunity to play the game for free. If it's a good game, I would guess this would entice people to then go, oh, you could earn money doing this? Okay, maybe I will buy, some sort of asset within the game to start earning because I enjoy playing it. So I guess it could be compared to freeware, right? Or that term for software where often you would download it for free, and then if you enjoy it, you pay.
Freemium.
Yeah. So
free to play, lots of ads on, a lot of add-ons to do.
Yeah.
Man.
Amazing drop. They left it open an extra hour because their servers got overloaded towards the end with people trying to make new scientists. So they did extend the mint an extra hour. It is closed now. The only place to get scientists would be off the secondary. So really, really proud of that team over there. Excited to be in there. Got my scientists earning scales, and boy, do they look good. I am seeing, oh man, so good.
I only made one, but I like him.
Yeah, he's banging. I got one with a crown too. People
the crown is so.
Also, that jacket you're wearing, I'm seeing it everywhere. A lot of people's favorite jacket was the Michael Jackson red.
Yeah.
I don't know, bomber space.
This guy is honest to God, like just an incredible artist, man. Like I try to do pixel art. I guess I'll say it. Like I do do pixel art. You guys know that, but like man, to figure out how to make a chain like that is it's a very impressive. Like it's not easy. I know it looks simple because it's pixel art. It's only a couple pixels, but like I don't know. I'm just always so impressed by it.
Yeah, baby.
The animations look good.
So and that here were a few interesting distinguishers there. If you didn't inject, if you didn't pay, it's not a GIF, right? So it's still image if you didn't inject any ETH. Secondarily, if you injected 0.4 or more ETH, you had access to some traits that were not there for 0.4 or less. And that would be the FX traits that were at the very bottom. A lot of people probably noticed you couldn't click the last tab there. You would have had to inject 0.4 into your scientist. And then there were a few similar to some of the legendaries you would have seen in the original Kaiju King collection, some sparkles and flames and just some cool animations and stuff that you wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. So those are basically the three types you'll see: the free one, the ones that injected between 0.06 and 0.4, and then the quote unquote FX ones if you injected 0.4 or more into your scientist.
The apes look really good too.
Right? Yeah, they did a bored ape trait. And you were showing off the Star Wolves trait, and there were quite a few collections that got partnerships and shout out traits here. So again, I think they hit it out of the park on every level. And if you're not in that, I will tell you, as markets and asset classes around the world continue to dive, the one bot setting off notifications on my phone yesterday would be the Kaiju Kings. People are aping babies. That floor is up 20% over the last few days. And while I know that doesn't sound like a lot in NFT world with everything else just red across the board, it's pretty impressive to have this mint in a bear market take in 1,000 ETH from people who did inject. They're seeing the babies off their floor move. And when you look at this floor, you look at Genesis, which have been between 4 and 5, and you look at babies, which hang out between 1 and 1.2, depending on the day. That's where they were before ETH crashed. That's where they were before the entire NFT market took a dive. So this is a stable coin in a sense, and really, really, really think this is. We talked about in December our picks for favorite. What's our best pick going into this year, and I keep talking about Kaiju Kings, and I still think the market is really underestimating.
Yeah, that was yours. What was mine? Cool Man's Universe.
Yes.
We'll do a recap show. I mean, it had a moment. It is not having a moment now. I don't know what happened with that. I mean, it just really even before like the crash, like it really just fell off. I mean, it was 2.5 ETH, and it just dumped. Was there something to that? Was I just not paying attention?
Nothing in particular.
I know they're doing another like a companion drop, and when I heard that, I was like, again, maybe too soon. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say for Cool Man's is that their companion drop has been planned all along, and it actually it actually plays into their lore. Like from the beginning, this has been a story and a property, not just a PFP collection. So in contrast to some other collections that really didn't know what to do next on their roadmap and we're just kind of copying what most other collections do, Cool Man's they're doing something here. And again, I am not saying that it's going to work or it won't dilute supply or whatever it is, but I can tell you it's related to the babies. All right. So remember, we always talked about if you were going to buy a Cool Man's, you buy the one holding the babies because they play into the worlds and the next phase and whatever they are. So the companions are going to be related to like which baby you own and this type of thing. So it's part of the entire thing they're planning there. I mean, look, this is a tough market, guys, all around. So hard to say what it's going to do. This is a known artist, right? This is the year of known artists, so it has a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to tell anyone to buy anything in this market, but that's looking like a pretty juicy floor if you're bullish on NFTs in the mid range. Did we do the drums already? I don't know, man. No, we didn't. What up, D-Gens? It's May 19th, Thursday, episode 126 of the morning show. Markets are down. The AM show is still up. I am your host, R2DGen, and I am joined with me, as always, by Free Market Capitalist.
Hey now.
I don't know. Yeah, I've just been enjoying just jumping into the show and kind of jamming. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit honest with you guys. Other than the markets being down, I felt that it's a little bit like slim pickings about what to talk about. Every once in a while, like, some interesting topics will perk up and whatnot, but everyone just seems to be in this holding pattern. We were talking about it in the pre-show. Everyone's just doing this thing of like kind of joining arms, going around the campfire and singing Kumbaya. Everything's going to be all right. WGMI. There's some mints coming up today. Metaverse, who we talked to on Spaces last week. And then Boki, which obviously we were pretty critical of Starcatcher's, fame, I guess we could call it. But it's kind of nice to just come in and talk and hang out and make it a little more casual. So, I mean, we've kind of put a little bit of the formalities on hold.
A weird thing happens, especially in NFTs, which again are very, very young, and even analyzing the cycles that existed. It's not a lot of info, right? We don't have a ton of years to back test our data on. Shit could change, never go back to the way it was. And then in the future, they would just look back and be like, yeah, that was the adoption curve and whatever, things change. So things change quite often. But what has happened a few times before, and I'm seeing it now, is we went through the major pullback, right? Not that certain NFTs can't go a little lower, and not that, but the froth has been wiped out of this market. The people that were just here for quick bucks, they got. They're insolvent.
Mhm.
They left to greener pastures because there's no money here. So we went from a week or two ago what I would call max FUD, just anger and people fudding every project and fireworks and just all around bad feelings and everywhere, to all of a sudden, as our two said, it's much more now like we have our arms around each other's shoulders. We know it's bad. Things are going to eventually get better, all this type of stuff. And that's not actually a change in sentiment. That just means that the people who are left here are here because they love whatever the fuck this is. Web3, NFTs. There are people who are here because the niche just interests them. It's just something that pulls them. And sure, everyone wants to get rich and everyone wants the money. But when we go through these periods, the people that are left are here for more than just the money. So you're much more likely to have the wag me, arm around your shoulder atmosphere, because really the only people left here actually believe in the thing. We're not just, I know there's still a few stragglers left who are going to come in every day and tell you it's all a Ponzi and going to zero and all that fun stuff. But that hit a fever pitch a few weeks ago, and it's kind of calmed down a bit. We're definitely entering an apathy phase, especially in NFTs. And I don't know if that translates into crypto at large yet, but we're in an apathy phase now. Mints are slow, especially good mints. They're far and few between. Things like not okay bears will spring up once a week or once every couple weeks, but it's mostly quiet out there. And really,
yeah, you're not going to have 60 gen mints a day that you're flipping for, a 2, 3, 4, 5x profit every time. Like it's, you're going to have to be patient, and what a great time to actually just learn and build, right? Like just do that stuff. That's why super happy that Cambo started doing his art and putting it up there, because you're going to use that time to do something. Is it just you're going to just sit there and commiserate on Discord about, oh my god, this and that? Like, no, you just get to work and do something, or learn something, or be a part of a new community. Go check things out, right? Like the people, like you said, the people that are still here at this very moment, and there will be more coming back and all of that stuff, but at this very moment are the ones that are here because they wanted to be here. They saw something a little bit more than flipping and trading and profit. And neither of us are here to tell you that you shouldn't be doing that and doing the altruistic thing, like, oh, it's bigger than just flipping. Like, play the game however you want. That's up to you, and that's great. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't traded before too. I'm not great at it, and I could definitely recognize that. But it has been an interesting sentiment shift. I'm just going to use Star Wolves as the Discord, because obviously we spend a lot of time in there and whatnot, and it's the vibe in there is good now that we've put a little bit of time in between that really violent crash that we had kind of last week and whatnot. But also it's just like, again, people are just there like, oh, what's going on today? We post some updates, people are happy about it, and you're just building, and the vibe is good. And if people see activity and movement, like that's a good sign for them. And I'm only using Star Wolves just because that's our frame of reference, but that is happening in a lot of other Discords too, where the people that are still hanging around in there, like, they're not coming in because they're checking the floor price every single day and smashing like, oh, what's going on, guys? What are you doing? We are where we are. And, now is the time to just put your head down. And you could do that as a participant too, even if you're not like the founder or part of a team of a project, right? Like you have lots of things you can be doing, and there's lots of reasons to stay bullish about it, right?
The reason most people lose is because they do things backwards. Okay, bear markets are where millionaires are made, and bull markets are where millionaires cash out. Because people leave during these periods.
I love that. That's a great saying, actually. Go tweet that.
Because people leave during these periods and then only come back towards the end.
And they bring their money back.
Because they're only coming back at the top, right? This is this is the period when you should be buying and acquiring things. It feels bad, it can feel stupid, and it can go a little lower than you bought it at, but it doesn't matter when you look forward to the next bull market. So this is just, and specifically we're talking about NFTs, because I'll tell you right now, why are NFTs paused? Is because the entire world is sitting around looking at the dumpster fire that is traditional markets. I will say ETH held up remarkably well yesterday. I was shocked. ETH should have been down 20% yesterday. We could have lost the plot in a crazy way, because the market came in flat, almost looking like maybe it wanted to recover and rally, and then ended the day minus 5%. Now, mind you, they just fell under the 5% mark, but 5% is when circuit breakers start getting activated and shit gets really scary for a minute. Okay, not even play. The Nasdaq almost looked like it was going to trip a circuit breaker yesterday, and it just came off towards the end. Then
they do have like fail safes like that too, where if things get really nasty
at 20, they turn it off.
It's like, we're done for the day. You guys just,
not even kidding. At 20, they turn it off.
No, yeah, because you don't. They need to cut off that like pure panic, right? Like. They literally turn it off and say, just sit on this for a little bit. Reevaluate. Don't do anything drastic. For sure. That doesn't happen in crypto.
Yeah. So what? And don't get me wrong, ETH was down yesterday and well off its highs. But again, it's been following the Nasdaq, and you would have thought when the Nasdaq really started to tank, it was going to go with it. It actually turned around and went up. It was bizarre, and especially with Barry Silbert tweeting out 4 days ago, the decoupling is going to be magnificent. That's it, just that sentence. The decoupling is going to be magnificent. Now, every comment underneath was a troll, because, any of these big guys, I don't care if it's Jim Cramer on Wall Street or Barry Silbert in crypto. People love to say that you always contra these guys, right? Like if one of them comes out and says the market is topped, then it obviously is bottom. And if one of them comes out and says we bottom, then we're obviously going lower. So when everyone said, when he made that comment, everyone underneath was, oh yes, stocks are going to go up and crypto's going to zero, right? Which was the opposite of what Barry meant. What Barry meant is that ETH especially is going to start decoupling from tech stocks and start going up, even while inflation and traditional markets continue to suffer. Everyone rolled their eyes. Lo and behold, 4 days later, you have stocks tanking, and ETH kind of just like, all right.
Hey, look, being down 1.3% on a 24-hour chart, while you look at the S&P futures down basically the same on the day, like that's a huge win for crypto. Like when this move happens and you're coupled, like Free Market said, like you might as well just 10x that percentage number in crypto traditionally. Like that was a very real thing.
I really think ETH could have been down 20%. Yes, it really could have been down 20%, and I'm surprised it wasn't. Again, ETH is not strong by any means, and there's nothing bullish about that chart yet. It was just very interesting that it didn't make new. ETH looks like it wants to at least test the lows we made last week, or that it wants to maybe probe some new lows and look for lower support, and it just held up yesterday. So that was a very interesting factor, Marcus. The other kind of canary I'm watching, and we don't know if it's a canary yet, though, are bonds, okay? I have been saying this for months. What you are seeing all around the world, crypto included, is a bond story. Bonds have risen 9% this year because of inflation going up 9%. Bonds are a proxy for growth and inflation. Inflation's up 9%, bonds are up 9%. That is a major disjointment in markets. And we have to digest that one way or the other. A major way that's happening is a rotation out of interest rate sensitive stocks like tech stocks into interest rate beneficiaries like commodities and staples. All right. That's the way that you're seeing it over there. For the last 5 sessions, bonds have been rallying. that means interest rates are going down over the last 5 years. Now, you could argue that they've just gone up so much they needed some sort of relief bounce. And right now, you're right until you're not. Okay, there's nothing that indicates it isn't just a relief bounce yet, though it is a mini inverse head and shoulders. Bonds have been rallying, and I think if you could ask any company what's the one thing that they would want to see to make themselves feel better right now about the next quarter, the future, that would be interest rates going down or interest rates smoothing out a little bit. We're kind of seeing what would be the beginning of that. So if you're trying to, if you want to look for something bullish right now, which is very difficult, because I'll tell you, when you do technical analysis and you chart and you look for bull flags and head and shoulders and all that things, those are great. And they have their probabilities about which way they're going to go. But you're really just guessing unless you know how to read the tape. And what the tape is you have all the buy and sell orders up on your tick chart. And you're literally basically like the way they count cards, plus and minusing all those sales so that you're building a volume profile in your head. You know whether there are more buys and sells, you know which side is being more aggressive, all that stuff. For the last 4 days, there have been no buyers. Like it is just an absence of buyers, especially yesterday. One of the scariest tapes I had ever seen. Just utter sells across the board constantly. That's what you want to look for before you really call a bottom and you really think things are turning bullish. But if you want some things to look for, it would be that sentiment is as bad as I've ever seen, and bonds look like they're trying to get up off the mat here. If we could somehow maintain that, that would start to get me to think at least a relief bounce. You know, there's a big downtrend line from the beginning of the year where the S&P to bounce into it, it would get to about 4,400. Where ETH to bounce into it, it would be at about 2,400. So you wouldn't even be able to say we were bullish if we bounced to those levels, but it would at least give all of us a little at least a breather before what could be the next leg down, or maybe some at least sideways consolidation. But that's pretty much it. Well, it's not great out there. We'll see if those canaries actually turn into canaries.
Yeah, it's funny too because it's incredible to me how much crypto being down makes headlines, right? It's the thing that people love to point their finger at, see like, especially when they're not in it. See, told you so. Crypto dead, crypto dead, crypto dead. Yeah, that this happened. You guys are gonna lose your shirts. Blah blah blah. Like, I've had a couple people like kind of do that to me in person, not aggressively, but like, oh, like it's tough out there. I'm like, do you have retirement savings? Like, do you have any stocks or ETFs or mutual funds? I'm like, you guys are getting fucking hammered, man. Like, and it is funny that the narrative tends to get pushed towards crypto and like, oh, crypto crashes again. I'm like, dude, everything is down bad.
Well, and when we talk about sentiment, that's one of the things I'm talking. I know a lot of people in crypto will get triggered when they read stuff like that. And we get emotional. You believe in something. And of course, also, I don't care who you are. You'd be lying if you didn't admit you have internal doubts. I don't care if you're 99% sure crypto is going to make it. There's still some little itty bitty man in your head that goes, but what if? Right? That goes, but what if? And anytime.
But if you're playing poker and your odds of winning a hand are 99%, you'll always have that like, oh, I could get fucking one outed here. But exactly. you still gotta smash the all in button.
Right. I don't care how convicted you
and I'm not saying go all in right here, please.
Right. We all have doubt, right? We all think we're good looking, but when somebody tells us we're ugly, it hurts because there's that little part inside of you that goes, but what if I am, right? And it's the same thing. No matter what your idea is, there's that little bit of doubt inside of you that can be triggered by these people who write articles like crypto's dead, ha ha ha, finally. And all the celebration and end zone dances from people who were against it all along. Right. I'm very happy when I see those things. That is literally when sentiment is at its worst. Unfortunately, right now, it's one of those very rare times when, while sentiment is terrible, it can just stay terrible for a prolonged time because there are genuinely scary reasons as to why people are this way. And, when you see airline tickets double month over month, and when you see food prices do what they're doing, it scares the average person into not wanting to spend, into being fearful. So there's a genuine reason why they are, and until you get the media to start reporting otherwise, it can be pervasive and it can stay longer than people think.
It cost me $100 to fill up my gas tank the other day.
Yeah.
It's a fucking mid-sized sedan.
Look, wheat is at an all-time high. Okay, wheat's at an all-time high. Oil, huge spike, close to all-time highs. All of these things, it's a psychological thing that it does to the consumer. Okay, the consumer stops spending. All right, and that's what causes recessions. Combine that with rising interest rates, there are real reasons for people to be angry, fearful, and not wanting to buy stuff, risk assets included. So while we have the sentiment reset we needed, it's not enough right now. We need some genuinely good data on the horizon. And it doesn't have to be that the data is delivered. It has to be that the rumor that it's coming begins, and that's when you'll start to see a bottom. So, hey, it can happen at any time, but haven't seen it yet. So,
well, all right, I'm going to bring up a news article now because it does feel like we're actually getting close to this, and it will be interesting to see what kind of effect, if any, it has on ETH. But the merge is coming up soon, and they've upgraded. They're running up the sorry, they're beginning to test it on the test net. They've doubled their bounty program, bug bounty program, to try and iron out the last of the kinks and whatnot. It feels like we're going to get this sometime in the next 6 months. I mean, it's still going to go through a long process of testing and bug finding, bug fixing and whatnot. But in this kind of market, it's hard to say, like, is this something that even moves the needle on it? Like, I get it. It's been long awaited and it's very bullish, especially if it goes. But
well, I believe
it's a short-term pump.
It's why Barry tweeted what he tweeted. I think that ETH maxis are very bullish on this event, as they should be. They should be. Yeah. I just don't know with the macro backdrop what that means. We will see.
I've seen that before, like with in the last few years, really bullish news coming out, and it's just like, okay, like crypto's still dead.
I genuinely believe that the Ethereum network is worth trillions of dollars currently. That is different than Ether, the token that trades on the Ethereum network. Now, I still think that should be a factor of the network. So if the network's worth $3 trillion, I think it's $1 trillion coin, which is much higher than it is here. And I do think the merge will make this. Ethereum is money, and it's better money than anything that's out there. And the merge is just going to make that very obvious to those observing. So,
I mean, cheaper, faster, and love it or hate it, more energy efficient. And there will be people that say like proof of work is important and necessary. I think ETH is going to be in a really, really good spot once this goes down, man. It's a very, very exciting news. It's been a long time coming.
And it's going to happen simultaneously as NFTs become the main use case for the Ethereum network. Like I say, NFTs are a $20 billion industry right now. I expect that to be worth $1 trillion over the next few years. So, and I'm talking the whole industry added together. There's a amazing potential for growth. This will be a blip on the screen. Looking out a few years as mass adoption occurs, you need to be able to hang out, whether it's 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year from now when this bear market relents. But It will. And if the merge is not bullish for price, I think it's just an opportunity.
Wholeheartedly agree. Yeah. Some other good news. I mean, again, kind of said it yesterday when the volume and the excitement dries up. Look for these companies to continue to put time, energy, effort, and money into it. A16Z is launching a $600 million fund focused on metaverse games. The gaming industry, the traditional gaming industry, generated more than $300 billion last year. So if the Web3 gaming industry can even start to eat up a small chunk of that, I mean, we still have a long way to go up. But A16 is, a leader. They know how to make moves. They know how to support and market projects and put their name on it. I'm very excited for this, and I think there's a couple of names that come to mind that are very worthy of the recipient of some of this fund too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they end up doing with this. They put up a little bit of a hype video as well. I actually didn't watch this. We could watch it together if you want.
Yeah,
do you see it?
Yes.
Is it good? Is it worth putting on?
Yeah, I don't know. Turn on.
Oh yeah, I'll throw it on there. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so I have the one thing I have personally been thinking about over the past few weeks is what are VCs doing, right? How much have they pulled back? How much do they still want to invest in Web3? I mean, this is something that you should be thinking about, right? These are the guys that tend to drive our entire industry. And if they're like, nope, Web3 is dead, I don't want to put any more money there, that should probably be concerning to us. Something like this out of A16 makes me think that that is not the case and that they are still looking towards Web3, but they're looking towards the areas that I was speaking about a few weeks ago, and that would be generative art and play to earn. I think on-chain gaming and play to earn is where most VCs are going to be focusing their large cash reserves over the next 6 months. Find the good ones, position yourself, and ride them to the moon.
That was a cool video. I like that.
Indeed.
I know it's a hype video. Whatever. You pay somebody some money to make something fun. But yeah, bullish on that.
Yeah.
Big money continues to support 3 in metaverse gaming, as A16 says it will invest well over $500 million. So yeah, I mean, those smart people over there don't think it's dead. I'm in. Hey, did you do your orc space yesterday?
No, we're actually redoing the format for Orcs Spaces. And while I cannot tip anything, there will be news to come. I actually am having a meeting later today about that specific subject. So we have dungeon crawls, which I did do a dungeon crawl this morning. And oh my God, I am so bad at these things. Jesus Christ, I missed my spreadsheet games. I am just sacrificing Zugs and Orcs for no reason. My ROI has gone to 0 here. I am not great at dungeon crawls yet, but I think what it's really just telling me is that I need to level up my Orcs. Instead of just using the Zug to go into dungeon crawls, I can't win. I need to start leveling up my Orcs. So yeah, whatever. Bottom line, we will have an Orc community spaces resuming next week under a new format. Really looking forward to being able to tell you guys the news on that. So coming soon. Nice.
I like this meme you just sent me too.
Yeah. NFTC. The funny part here is Squidward is sad. He's down bad. He's inside. He's down bad. He is NFTs on crypto and bonds. Now, if you notice, Patrick and SpongeBob, they are the one friend that told you everything is a scam run by the lizard people. Look at the happiness on their face. They don't know what the S&P is. They don't know that bonds are up 9%. Look at the happiness on their face. Just saying.
I actually really like your live breakdown of memes. Can we just pull up a couple other ones and just explain, stating the obvious? That was good. I like that's a good segment. Well, let's just do that again.
We'll add it to the show.
Gary V approves.
Yeah. There he is. You know, I like those Ivy boys too. I'm almost sure I was on the whitelist, forgot to mint, saw them at an absurdly low floor the next day, like, all right, I guess it was it. And then they just, proceed to fucking moon to 80 million ETH or whatever the floor is now. And there it is. Like we say, guys, there's always a pump out there somewhere. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I'm here to find it.
Ivy boys. I didn't even see this one.
You know what they look like? Rin Tin Tin.
Yep.
Like that art style. Really
100%.
Very classic, good looking PF.
Maybe some like Archie comic.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. Very, very classic, hand drawn type of look. And yeah, I mean, I was sick. So like I said, I'm pretty sure I was
facing the wrong way.
Yeah, they are. That's true. So I'm pretty sure I was on the list for this, missed the mint. Then I saw them sitting at like 0.15 all day. They tripled overnight. So there it is.
Huh. They're cool.
Yeah.
0.4 floor. Yeah. They're great.
Yeah, they're very, very, it's very nice art.
By Aaron Chang is a Genesis project of BBRC Studio and the first of many creator collaborations.
And this reminds me of House. This fits right in with my known artist thesis. I just when you have now the traditional art entities recognizing NFTs as a thing and moving in. It's just where I think the real cooks are going to be going forward. Azuki, Moonbirds, Phantom. They all had legitimacy behind. That was what made them cooks. It wasn't the small quote unquote anon team. And it's not even that there'll be another 100 of those this year that are cooks. And there will even be some of them that become quote unquote blue chips. It's just, I think it's not going to be the norm. I think what you're seeing in front of you going forward is going to be the norm.
I'm in. I like it. I'll have to keep an eye out on BBRC.
Yeah, Mr. Sip. Me too. I totally put their Discord in my annoying folder. Like that 6,000 red, things like that's just, I know it's the annoying folder. It's probably why I missed the mint. I remember seeing them like, oh, I love this art. This is going to be cool. And, yeah.
Dower Darcells. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Go take a cold shower, my friend.
It's the TBT.
How would that feel?
Oh man. Well, on that note, Boki's minting today.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Wow. So did Starcatchers.
Yeah, I almost feel like they look better than Starcatchers now, but maybe it's because I just seen Starcatchers every day for a few months and those are fresh.
Could be.
And I love the website. It's nice.
Yeah.
You just don't know
how that all went down.
Your artist is going to be a free man, and when the FBI is going to come knocking on his door about the insider metadata stealing trade, or many of the other infractions that the young Butrix admitted to doing. So, good luck.
Why is he not even listed on the team?
He was removed.
He
was removed.
From Boki?
Yeah. You didn't know?
I had no idea.
Yeah. It was too controversial.
He got removed from his own project that he started and did the art for.
Well, I'm sure somehow he's still going to get, a large chunk of money, but yes.
Yeah, true.
The official title was removed.
Oh man, this story just keeps getting better and better. I had no fucking clue. I was just scrolling through the website. And I'm like, oh yeah, the team A big team. Let's find Botrick there.
I mean,
Nope.
in a
Down.
vacuum, that's fabulous art. It's great art in a The only thing I will say though is like, does it do or say anything? Okay, like Ivy Boy, that what those look like? They look like small bros, right? Like, and it's not even that that means it's bad. It's just it's something that is similar to stuff that's already out. So the only thing cool about it is that it's new. And even if it's a cook, I'm not sure how long it will last unless there's some angle I'm missing here. Whereas something like Ivy Boys, the reason I think it's a cook that holds is one, the art's unlike anything you've seen in NFTs yet. And it's by a known entity that knows how to deliver beyond just the mint. So it's in stark contrast to something like Boki, which is a small anon team with a controversial artist putting out something very similar to multiple projects that are out, whether it's Starcatchers or Small Bros or Doodles. I mean, it's all very, very, very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, Doodles. I didn't even. I closed it, but we were talking about that too. They did their duplicator. Is that what it's called?
Yes,
kind of just quiet. Where is that? Duplicator. There it is. I mean, they're doing all right. 3th floor. What's Doodles kicking around at? How's that been holding up this time?
They're at 13 or 12.
Oh, yeah, 13 and a half. That's pretty good. Yep.
Not really. They were at 22 before these duplicates.
Oh, they did get that high. Yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure they ran.
I forgot about that huge run they went on. Yeah.
It was immediately after Yuga. And because people were like, oh, the bull run's still going to continue, it's just going to move into things that aren't Yuga Labs or whatever. And Clonex saw a pump, and Doodle saw a pump, and Azuki probably would have seen one if it wasn't broiled in its own, ridiculous controversy or whatever. But Doodles saw the largest post-Yuga other side gain, largely because the news had leaked that there was going to be a companion collection. Everybody was bullish on it. Doodles is the next one to blah, blah, blah. Got up to 22 ETH. Companion is released and tankety tank. And with the companion sitting at 3 and the floor sitting at 13.5, that is still 6 ETH in value that has disappeared because the floor was decimated. So I will say that I do not blame the companion collection. I think this is largely market forces at work as everything is down. So this is a point I made yesterday, and it's one I constantly want to reiterate, is that while no one is denying that each project has its own internal things that it either has to push forward or deal with or execute on, it is very difficult to make large sweeping assessments in this type of market because you just don't know how much your actual roadmap is affecting demand versus the overall, right? If Doodles were sitting at 22 ETH, nobody would be saying anything. No one would care or whatever it is. And we don't know how much of that decline is just due to the market. So I always say you don't want to make large pivots or big changes of direction during a bear just because your floor price is, again, if it's something you are planning to do or fits into wherever, that's a different thing. But you can't just be reactive to your floor price during this period because there is nobody that's safe right now. Nobody. It's risk off.
I remember when Doodles was on that flipping Cool Cats.
Well,
the companion is almost there. Yeah.
We talked about this at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, and 4, and now they're at 3.7. And I thought they were going to get to 2 or 3 ETH. I think, for all intents and purposes, Cool Cats are done. They lost their way, and can they get it back? Maybe, but we constantly talk about supply. All right. And we talk about dilution. And you can dilute your own collection with companions, but there's only so many blue chips, and there's only so much money to chase those blue chips. While cats have fumbled their bag, are now looking for their way, trying to regain what they had, you have Doodles, Clonex, and Azuki coming from behind and becoming the next blue chips. Now, that doesn't make cats less cats, but it does mean that there is less money to go into them to make them the next blue chip. So when you fumble your bag and other people come along and then take the capital that could have gone into you, well, that's why you are where you are. And it is going to take, I believe, a very large pivot for Cool Cats to get back to where they were. Will they do it? Maybe, and I don't know. But I think that the game is a flop. I don't think it is any fun to play based on the people who I have talked to. And if they don't move back towards a licensing path, I expect them to fall to 2 ETH and stay there.
Yeah, do they just have to come out and just be like, look, the game was a failure, it sucks, it's not part of our thing anymore?
No, not at all. The game works. It's not going to hurt you any more than it already has. The token is at 0. The game is, not terribly for all that type of stuff. From this point, if you could just get a news cycle and some licensing and a big partnership with Gucci or, whatever it is, something like that, they'd be right back in 9 ETH. I'm very confident about that. But what I wouldn't do is lean into the game, say people just didn't get it, be like, everyone, we're going to launch a new season of the game and you're not going to believe what we've put together. That's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see them leaning into what went wrong and saying, no, we just screwed up. Look, we're going to make it better in the next, whatever. No.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Tough,
friend. I'm just, I don't have a good opinion on them. I'm just probably biased because I'm not the biggest fan of Dead Fellas, but they do seem to have a great community. So to me, it's also just a factor of the bear market. I'm sure Dead Fellas and friends will come back when the market comes back.
Yeah, Dead Friends is, maybe living up to, or Dead Fellas, living up to their name. Kind of that, like, what do you call those? The zombie communities? It doesn't die. Like they're there, they exist, they keep going, and it just like slowly kind of gets bigger and bigger.
Yes, Sappy Seals, Lazy Lions, Dead Fellas.
Lazy Lions, good example too, yeah.
The vampires, though I've seen less of them. The dads, though I've seen less of them. And lemons. Like these are communities I define as those annoying zombie communities that never die, and they're always going to have a pump on the next cycle because there are people who identify with that community. Like, I think that's what's legitimate here. Like, there are lemons out there who just identify with lemons, and there are lions out there who just identify with lions, and of course the seals who are just out of their minds. That I don't think ever goes away, and I think on every cycle they're going to add a crop of new holders. And that's just one of those things where over time I believe those floor prices trend up. Oh, did lions have a companion? Oh my God, ballsy!
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's ballsy. I'm assuming they felt pressure from their community to do something because I don't know. 22,000. Well, there it is.
Lazy Cubs. Well, bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
I don't have any commentary on Lazy Lions, to be honest with you.
0.1?
Yeah, not bad.
That seems pretty good to me. 22.
Well,
they just I see. Never mind.
Yeah. Let's slow the roll down a little bit there. You're like, oh man, Lazy.
Wow.
Free market's going to smash the buy button on a bunch of them. No, it's
honestly, if they minted out a 22K collection and
mint was 0.1. Wow.
They wanted to sell 22,000 at 0.1
in this market.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very impressive if they could sell it out and even say 20% under the floor.
It was a Dutch auction.
Wow, 0.1 was the lowest.
You got to let that ride. Like, just let that go down to 0.02, and if that's where it goes, that's where it goes.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, well, here's the problem, right? Like, even as Ndot's saying, now it's whitelist minting. I have whitelist, but I'll think about it, right? Like,
pretty sure
you have that luxury.
Yeah.
It's definitely not forcing your hand to mint it.
No, I mean, and you probably no hurry. Like, if the bull market does make these mint out and shit, you'll see it coming, and probably won't be any hurry to rush in.
Fascinating.
I guess the only thing I'll say is, if the team had been planning this and it's just on their roadmap and they're going to execute it one way or another, that at least makes me think they're in it and they're going to be here for the long term, because they're not, it's not a cash grab if you're pushing it out now, because I'm pretty sure the team is not dense enough to think it was going to fucking fly at 0.1 for 22,000.
Well, but does that not beg the question of, like, why did they do that in the first place then? Like, the Dutch auction stopping at 0.1? I mean, not why are they doing the drop?
Yeah, I mean,
again, we're outside looking in. It's easy to, like, I'm not even in the community. I don't know how rabid that community seemed for it and whatever. And this isn't a criticism.
I
just think that, like, if your intent is to get them all out there, you keep that Dutch auction going all the way down to like 0.04, 0.025, something like that. Unless this was money that they needed and they've already spent it in their head, right?
Yeah, no, agree. Wouldn't you think that all the Lions got one for free? Why?
Well, that would be my other thing. Is there should be 10,000 of these right now.
Unless the Lions like get to do it after or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're right. I don't think a 0.7 floor collect should drop a companion. Agreed, unless it's like necessary to their ecosystem, and as Free Market said, part of the roadmap, part of the plan all along. I agree, and if the floor is 0.7, like, you make that a free mint for those 10,000 Lions.
Yeah, right? It must be. I don't know. Could you imagine?
Oh, they have a free airdrop? Okay, all right, that's good. All right.
Oh, it's going to be an airdrop? Or do you have to mint it? They're going to do an airdrop on L1 to 10,000 people. That's pretty dope for them.
Maybe that's why they needed the Dutch auction to be so high.
I was going to say, could you imagine if there's only 1,300 minted because even the people didn't want to mint them for free to pay the gas?
Oh, that would be bad. That floor would be decimated right now. Yeah.
No.
You know what, though, I am saying, like, we started looking at all of these. We looked at Lazy Lions, Dead Fellas, Cool Cats, or whatever. What a hell of a time to start throwing some, like, minus 25% WETH offers out there, because I am seeing a lot of them accepted. A lot of them.
I really, the only thing is you have to know what your style is. If you're a trader, locking up ETH for an unknown amount of time probably isn't your strategy. If you have the type of funds where you can buy and hold a few things, it's time to be banging WETH offers into your favorite collections. No question.
Yeah, if you could start off with a 25% discount, you're probably feeling pretty good about that. Absolutely. Boom, boom, boom. All right, dude, what do you got going on? We got a Thursday Spaces going on today.
We do.
Yeah.
Real Thursday.
Good reception to that too. We've had some really positive feedback on that. I think people have really enjoyed listening to project founders talk about the overview of the market rather than just specifically their projects, because people could talk ad nauseum about their own project, and that's great. But it's been really fun to pick some people's brains and whatnot. We got like the topic today is L2, specifically like Arbitrum and L2 gaming and whatnot. So it'd be interesting. Like, I want to know, and I'll ask this, and it's not like a gotcha question or anything like that, but like, what is the I wonder how concerning for L2s the merge, the upcoming merge is, right? Like, does this just negate the necessity for them at all? Like,
Not at all.
completely?
Not
No?
well, definitely not. Definitely not in terms of gaming. You know, there is a huge difference, and between paying $10 to do an action and paying 1,000th of a cent. The merge is not going to make actions on L1 fractions of a penny. That's just.
I thought it was.
No, it is not.
Like, I thought that was one of the things, was that like the throughput gets so high that transacting is so cheap because you don't have to force a transactions through.
I'm hearing $10 is what you're expecting your average transaction to be on Ethereum.
That, of course, is always related to the price of Ethereum too, right? And that's the counterpoint of like, why is Ether?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got you. No, sorry.
I have not looked into it enough. You would have to look. So, and maybe you can find, from what I understand, it's what I said. I don't know.
Yeah, no, again, just because if you're removing the proof of work element of it, you're not, because the miner's energy cost has to be met with rewards to justify doing it. And if the energy consumption drops, the 1,000x that they say it's going to, and the throughput is I think they're expecting it to be over 100 times higher, more. Anyways, regardless, I'm just shitting out numbers right now, but I don't know. It seems to me like by virtue, it should get really cheap. But that actually just might be a good question to ask them. They'll probably have a great answer for it, because I have no doubt that they've thought about it. You'd have to.
Mm-hmm.
But you could be right. I mean, you know this stuff way better than I do. I have never participated in
heard
an
$10. When the people I've talked to have said that, well, again, I think the average right now is like 4 times that. So it's still a very good,
Sure.
It's still a very good rate. That would still be expensive, not for like the purchase of an asset, but it would certainly be expensive, in the very specific case of on-chain gaming, where you could be doing, 15 actions in a round. You're going to be, hundredths of a cent makes a big difference in that sense. So.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We're still going to ask it.
No, find out. Honestly, if we found out, please give me a reason to short Matic. Oh, give Daddy a reason. I'll short that fucking pig to 0. But as
Matic or Magic?
Huh? Yeah, Magic too. But as far as I can tell, it won't render L2s useless. So we'll see. If you could find some more info, I would love to know. I haven't done enough research. You just going out there, buddy? Or are you looking for it right now?
Yeah, I'm just doing it on my side, screen here. I don't know. Oh, this is a long article. Well, maybe we'll just have an answer tomorrow. Yeah, that's gonna take me too long. All right, man. Anything else you want to roll on?
No, sir.
All right, yeah, Cambo, I'm done shitting some numbers out of my mouth hole. Guys, when sharding, fuck, I'm about to shard myself right now. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in again. I hope you guys are cool with the pretty casual format of just rolling through some stuff, because really that's the most enjoyable thing to talk about is just whatever comes to mind or whatever you guys start bringing up in the chat. Appreciate the lazy Cubs drop. That was fun to look at and think about. So I think we're probably going to focus more on doing that and just just seeing where the conversation takes us, because I said the quiet part out loud, man. It's just, yeah, it's enjoyable, and we love talking to you guys, interacting with you, and all of that great stuff. So on that note, of course, everything is going to be recorded. We talked, again, markets down pretty bad, but not as bad as you might think compared to the stock market and whatnot. A16Z is launching a big crypto gaming fund. We started talking about some more P2E crypto gaming type stuff. We riffed on the scientists for a while. That mint has finally finished up. They had just under 52,000 of them minted. Incredibly successful. What a great experience that was as well. And very excited about all things Augmented Labs. Went on Ivy Boys for a little bit. We talked about some of those other just random projects from the past. Dead Fellas, Cool Cats, Lazy Lions. There's some other ones in there, but you get the gist of it. So on that note, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We love you all. We will be back on the stage at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will see you then. Free market. Get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, D-Gen.